Hi, my name is Lenton Brown, and I'm running for House of Representatives District 9. I am the son of sharecroppers and the great-great-grandson of slaves. I'm an honor graduate. My biography was published in Who's Who among American high school students in 73, 74, 74, 75, and I'm a member of the National Beta Club, and also the Society of Distinguished High School Students. Matriculated to Shaw University, have a BA in political science with a minor in psychology. I am a realtor. I studied real estate at J.Y. Monk. I'm a veteran. I was awarded the National Defense Medal, Southwest Asian Defense Medal, Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal, the Battle E. And as I said, I'm a licensed broker, realtor. I'm a member of the National Association of Realtors, and I'm a musician and an activist. My campaign slogan is representation and justice for all. My campaign is the Coalition for Unity, Diversity, and Justice. And I'm running for the office for the following reasons: to oppose all insurance increases for homeowners, renters, and automobile insurance, to raise the minimum wage to $15, to end the taking of homes of Medicaid recipients, for free tuition at state community colleges and four-year institutions, to preserve abortion rights. I want the death penalty for drug dealers, to bring integrity to the North Carolina Board of Elections, to end slavery in North Carolina prisons, to preserve Second Amendment rights, to invest in economically disadvantaged areas, state workers' pay increase, and to bring back the film industry in North Carolina. Now, the reason I support the minimum wage is the fact that it hasn't been increased since 2009. And it's virtually impossible for a family to survive on $7.25 per hour, given today's housing costs, insurance costs, rising food costs, medical costs, transportation costs, and etc. And I want to end the tipped employee sub-minimum wage. As regards people taking homes, HMS, once an individual's Medicaid bill reaches $3,000, the individual has just lost everything his family has ever owned for generations. The medical bills are tracked by a third party and are frequently not representative of the patient's actual cost. For example, an individual that may only be getting $300 a month total for personal care. When I saw this particular individual's bills, for some weeks they had him receiving $1,400 a week in a single week. And then another week they had him receiving just $81. And I knew that was impossible. And I also checked the patient's charts. It was not within the realm of possibility. And the affinity, who's the lady that declares to the court that everything was correct and above board, had certified that. But the actual situation was that when I demanded to see a printout showing week by week what the expenditures were, guess what? The gentleman can get to $280,000 any kind of way. And even with, he could only get to about 220,000, and there was no way that was remotely accurate because it could never be any more than $300 a month. Now, the reason I'm proposing free tuition at state community colleges and four-year institutions is like when billionaires like Robert Smith, they show up at underperforming schools where graduation rates are barely above 40%, and they promise students to pay for their entire college education. Academic achievement goes through the roof, with better than 90% of the students not only graduating, but also going to college. Also, technology is moving at such a fast pace that adults may need to retrain for several different professions during their lifetimes. Now, where I stand on abortion rights is this. The decision to have abortion should be made between a woman, her doctor, and her God. The state has no business in anyone's bedroom. And I will always protect a woman's right to choose. Where do you stand on Second Amendment rights? Well, taking the guns of honest, law-abiding citizens will not stop a single school shooting. I've seen a few drug dealers actually destroy a once thriving community. If you deal drugs, shoot into a crowd, invade the home of an elderly or disabled individual, discharge a weapon in a school, a church, a business, a park, or a parade, or even a movie theater, you have just bought yourself the death penalty. Enough is enough. I've been to countries like Mexico and the Philippines where people don't have weapons, and there appears to be no end to the violence perpetrated on citizens by gangs, corrupt cops, drug dealers, and etc. Our lawmakers made a huge mistake by greatly expanding the amount of public funding that can go to private schools through its Opportunity Scholarship Program. Public school tax dollars should not be going to private schools. The NC's Opportunity Scholarship Voucher Program needs to be repealed. The NC Opportunity Scholarship Voucher Program takes money away from public schools and further weakens our schools in terms of maintaining their facilities and their ability to attract talented educators. I was educated in the North Carolina public school system, and we must do everything humanly possible to make our schools safe and to preserve our public schools. Now, North Carolina has a fund of nearly $5 billion and a $3.5 billion surplus in addition. I would introduce legislation to use a portion of the state's billion-dollar surplus to provide free tuition at all of the state's community college and four-year institutions for families earning less than $100,000 per year. I will work to ensure that broadband is accessible to every home in our state. We must use a portion of the money to attract and retain quality educators. We must improve our infrastructure, including roads and broadband. I feel that integrity absolutely needs to be brought to the Board of Elections. On my website, I have a receipt for Virginia Cox in the 2020 race for North Carolina House of Representatives District 12. It shows that Virginia Cox Daltrey paid her fees to be in the race on December 24th, 2019, which is 4 days after the deadline. The Lenore County Board, the State Board of Elections, and Karen Brinson Bill, all of them were complicit. They knew this had happened. And she went on to allegedly have voters send her over $100,000 from across state lines. She was declared the winner, even though she failed to pay her fees in time to qualify to be on the ballot. 20 minutes after filing in the race for North Carolina House District 9, I received a frantic phone call from Brian Farkas and Molly Holderman, the Democratic chair, who is also Claire's personal friend, to get out of the race. Now, this is a termination issue for any party chair. And it was Doug Davis that allegedly gave them my phone number. This race needs to be decided by the voters of Pitt County, not Dave Davis, not Brian Farkas, not Molly Holderman, or not John Herring or Josh Steins. State policy prohibits any employee from trying to influence our elections to favor or to negatively impact a candidate. To have a Pitt or Lenoir County elections employee jump off the board and enter the race to torpedo one's candidacy is antithetical to the concept of democracy. We need to stop County Board of Elections employees from working on the board 1 second and minutes later jumping into the race to target a specific individual the next. State employees are prohibited from trying to influence our elections for or against a candidate. The changes that I would make to the Department of Public Safety is the following. I am running to end the unprovoked brutal beatings and alleged hangings of black inmates in North Carolina's prison system. I am running to end the framing and the wrongful terminations of black officers using false evidence for reporting excessive use of force incidents by their white counterparts, which results in 40% of the positions being constantly vacant. And where I stand again on Second Amendment rights is I have a 100% rating from grassroots. I pledge complete and total support for the Second Amendment. I will personally introduce a bill legalizing permitless concealed carry and open carry in the state of North Carolina. In terms of investing in disadvantaged areas, I will introduce legislation to encourage investment in historically, economically disadvantaged areas in Pitt County, such as West Greenville and the area that's north of the river. In terms of pay increases for state employees, it is time that we valued all our hardworking state employees by giving them significant pay increases as well as a retirement package for all employees, including all bus drivers. We need to provide incentives to bring back the film industry to North Carolina, because nothing promotes tourism than sitting back and watching your favorite show being filmed in North Carolina, and that draws people to our beaches and other areas as well. Now, in terms of providing representation and justice for all, when lawyers intentionally betray the trust of their clients, they need to be immediately and permanently disbarred from the practice of law and need to serve time in a state or federal prison in every case. And I will introduce legislation to criminalize this behavior. We need to deal with the tough issues that most politicians and senior officials at the Department of Public Safety, the Attorney General, and courts have allegedly been covering up, like the fact that black inmates are brutally beaten in the state's prison system, and black officers are routinely framed and terminated using false evidence for reporting or even witnessing such incidents. We have to find ways to improve people's lives. We must introduce legislation in the General Assembly to limit the North Carolina Division of Health Benefits Health Management Systems from taking the homes and assets of Medicaid recipients, which forces patients literally to choose between getting the health care they need and leaving a roof over their children's head. We must repeal the laws that limit the ability of workers to join unions and or participate in collective bargaining. And of course, we have to find ways to bring people together. We need to increase the pay for legislators so that citizens are not effectively ineligible from holding legislative positions due to the low salaries. We claim to have a citizen legislature in North Carolina, but as a matter of fact, only a few elite individuals can afford to serve in state government. This is the antithesis of democracy. Our current campaign financing structure creates a system in which many candidates running for office spend more time listening to donors than they do voters, which continues once those candidates hold elective offices. The policies that I would pursue to establish and expand North Carolina's public campaign financing system would be the following. I would like to see candidates having the option to receive a set amount of money from the legislature for their campaigns, which would help to eliminate donor influence and level the playing field. There is a growing shortage in North Carolina, particularly for low-income households. And the policies that I would pursue to resolve this issue are the following. As a realtor and broker, we have scores of commercial property that are vacant. We have $8.5 billion available, and I would propose grants that would be used to convert commercial property into residential housing, and that would solve the problem. I'm a realtor. Given the Republicans' gerrymandering efforts, it is almost near certainty that I would be a member of the minority party in the North Carolina General Assembly. But I would make sure that my voice is being heard and that my progressive policies get real consideration. And as a realtor and as a broker, negotiation and persuasion is what I do. I will propose legislation and negotiation and persuade my colleagues why it is vital that we act together to begin to solve this state and the nation's problems. This, whether you believe it or not, is the most consequential election of our lifetime. It is important that we have people who are invested in our democracy and that each and every citizen exercises their right to vote if we are to truly have representation and justice for all. Again, my name is Lenton Brown. I am running for North Carolina House District 9. You can find information on my campaign on my Facebook page, which is Elect Lenton Brown to North Carolina House of Representatives District 9. And if you would like to make a contribution, there are a number of sites that are connected to the website that will go directly, that you can click on, and you can make contributions to the campaign. As I would say, I would appreciate your help, as well as informing other people about my campaign, and also volunteering to meet me at the polls, and let's get something going. Let's make this is an awesome opportunity that we have, and we need to come together once and for all to improve the status and the opportunities for the residents of North Carolina. I thank you, and I appreciate your support. Thank you.